All right, is everybody ready? I know usually Mike starts the meeting. Tonight we do have oath of office for new council members. I was able to connect with Mayor Dodge and Councilmember Helt. Larry, if that's okay, we're gonna do yours virtual. We did the other two in person. I do have a copy of it to show. Hold on. So we'll just have you do the oath, and then we'll connect at a later time to get yours notarized. So Larry, you are on mute right now. Okay.
How's that?
Perfect. All right. So can you see the oath on the screen?
I've got one.
You have the agenda up.
Oh, I do. I'm sorry. Let me figure this out. Oh, here we go. How about now?
Still the agenda.
Yep, no, it's up.
It's up?
Yes.
Okay. It should be the oath now.
It is.
Okay.
There it is.
Are you able to see that, Larry?
I can.
Okay. All right. So I'll just have you read the oath with your name.
Right now?
Yep.
I, Larry Millender, do solemnly swear to support the Constitution of the United States, the Constitution of the State of Minnesota, and to discharge faithfully the duties of the office of Councilman of the City of Mayor, Minnesota, to the best of my judgment and ability. So help me God.
Perfect. Thank you so much. And then we will meet in person and get that signed.
Okay.
All right. I'm gonna go back to the packet now. All right, Mike.
Perfect, thank you.
Oh, we're also recognizing, I'm sorry, Mike. We're also recognizing Chad Helt is a new council member as well. We did do his oath in person, and we also did Mayor Mike Dodge was reelected, and we did his in person as well.
Perfect, thank you. So with that, welcome Councilmember Helt, Councilmember Melander to the Mayor City Council. Looking forward to serving with you. So with that, we'll call the meeting to order at 6:33. And if we could, if everyone could please start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. With that, I will look for a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
I'll make that motion.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
And who, let's, just to help the city clerk, could we, when you make a motion in a second, could you please say your last name?
Millender.
So we had Boder as a motion. Who was the second?
Millender.
Perfect, thank you. All right, with that, we will vote via roll call. Boder?
Aye.
Helt?
Aye.
Millender?
Aye.
And Dodge is an aye. Motion carries 4-0. And just for the record, we have Councilmember McNeely is absent tonight. So with that, we'll open up for public comments. If there's anyone who would like to discuss anything that is not on the agenda, please state your name and address for the record. Okay, with no one coming forward, we will close public comments, move to the consent agenda. Is there anything on the consent agenda that needs to be pulled for further discussion? Hearing none, I'll look for a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Health, I'll make that motion.
Thank you. Is that help?
Yep.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
Voter, I'll second then.
We have a motion, a second. Any further discussion? All right, we'll vote via roll call. Voter.
Aye.
Help.
Aye.
Millender.
Aye.
And Dodge is an aye. Motion carries 4-0. Thank you. That will take us, Maggie and Mr. Martini, 6A1, an update on the water tower, water treatment plant, and wastewater treatment plant projects.
Okay, I'll do a little intro. So this evening, you're just receiving a verbal update on the water tower, water treatment plant, and wastewater treatment plant projects. So I think we have Ryan Cotta and Dave Martini with Bolton and Mink, the city engineer, on tonight to do that verbal update. I did include in your packet the history of all three projects. So with that, I will turn it over to Dave and Ryan.
Yeah, thank you, Maggie. I'll let Ryan do most of this reporting since he's managing these projects that we're talking about tonight. Just want to say, leading into it, to the new council members, be sure to feel free to reach out to me anytime if we've got a lot going on from an engineering standpoint, but would be happy to spend some time helping getting you up to speed on kind of the status of some of these projects that we're working on. And with that, I'll turn it over to Ryan and let him update you on the three water sewer related projects.
Good evening, everyone. The first item is the water tower project that was actually completed late this fall, and the contractor has submitted the final pay application for that project. So that project is finished up. Currently, we also have another project at the water treatment plant that we're expanding the filtration capacity of that plant. And currently they're constructing the new under drain for the new filter cell addition. And they're also drilling a new supply well. And currently that supply well, they're in development, which is kind of the second to the last phase of construction. And that will be followed by test pumping sometime in the next 2 weeks. That should begin. At the water treatment plant also, their schedule, I know, for moving forward through the rest of this month is construction of the new filter cell. And then also part of the project is upsizing the high service pumps that pump to the distribution system. And those pumps are scheduled to arrive, I believe, tomorrow. And they'll start installing those right away as well.
And Ryan, could you just quick give an update on where we ended up from a budget standpoint on the water tower project?
Yes, the water tower project, the original bid I don't have in front of me, but we have some savings and allowances, and then we also had a third logo that we decided not to have them install. That was part of the original bid. So I believe the change order, it's a change order credit for I believe it's like $30,000. That's included in the final pay application.
So I just wanted to make sure the council knew how we came out on that project, that everything was actually a little bit under budget. And then Ryan, before we move on to the wastewater plant too, I'm wondering if you just give a little bit more explanation. We had the issue come up here, I guess a couple of weeks ago now, where we had to do some work through the night in developing that new well. And Ryan probably just explained to you a little bit more about what was going on there if you had any questions about why that was needed.
Yeah, that was needed. It kind of goes to why we're replacing the original existing well that's right next to it. Is it's a sandstone bedrock aquifer, and basically there's a large casing that goes down to about 200 feet below grade, and then from that point, it's an open hole, and that's basically where we're getting the water out of the well. And the original well did not have a screen on it, so that open hole basically was collapsing. And what they found when with our design of the new well is we're installing a screen to stabilize that from collapsing in. But when they're trying to install the screen, when they'd have their normal quitting hours each day, when they'd come back in the morning, that hole where the screen wasn't yet installed just kept collapsing on them. So it took them to work around the clock through one night to be able to just continue on and not let the hole collapsing in get ahead of them.
Any questions for the engineer on that from anyone? Okay, thank you.
And the third project that we're working on is a capacity study at the wastewater treatment facility. This came about actually by the city of New Germany approached mayor inquiring about the possibility of regionalizing their wastewater flow to the Mayer wastewater treatment facility. And at the time that occurred, I believe the question came up of who would be responsible for paying for looking at the impacts of that. And basically, New Germany partnered with Met Council to fund us looking at the impacts to Mayer if New Germany would, if Mayer would want to regionalize wastewater flow from New Germany to their plant. So that project, we just finished the draft report that we submitted to, I submitted to Maggie and Kyle with Mayer, and then also to New Germany's engineer and also Met Council. And basically this study just goes through and just looks at what the impacts are to the facility and if improvements would be needed. And what came about it, and another benefit of this report is actually this ends up being close to 30 to 40% of what will be Mayer's facility plan, regardless of if New Germany regionalizes or not. And what we found in the study is that just design flows and loadings just for the city of Mayer itself, the existing facility has a capacity for our 20-year design period of 2040. It pushes the limits and it's right to capacity, but it does have the capacity there. But if you add on New Germany's flows and loadings for 2040 onto that, it requires a major expansion of the wastewater plant. And I have like a cost table at the, it's really preliminary rough estimates of these major improvements that would be needed. And it's upgrading and expanding almost every portion of the facility, except for there's already a known need of a new digester biosolid storage that I've had many talks, and I've worked with Kyle when we were developing this report as well. But that is a major portion that's in this cost estimate as well, even though that would likely need to occur, or it's a current need right now. But the overall cost summary for all these improvements to be able to accommodate New Germany's flows and loadings and as well as new Mayer's 2040 design flows and loadings is a rough estimate of $7 to $9 million.
And so I asked Ryan, I wanted to make sure that you guys got an update on that since that's been submitted now to Met Council. They're going to be sharing it with New Germany. Again, Maggie and Kyle have a copy of the report, so she can certainly distribute that to you if you want to look into it in more detail. And Ryan can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think right now, kind of where that project stands is basically it puts it in the hands of New Germany and Met Council to have that information, kind of understand the impacts of what would be needed from an infrastructure standpoint if they were continued to pursue this and want to continue the dialogue with the city of Mare. Right now, I don't believe there's any action needed on the city of Mare's part. We're basically just going to be waiting to kind of hear back from New Germany Met Council as to where they might be with this now that they have this information. I think, Ryan, the next step from what I understand would probably be if they want to continue to pursue this is some idea of, okay, well, how would this be structured from a fee standpoint? If they were to connect, how would this project, again, if you were interested, how would it be financed? And ultimately, how would you be charging the city of New Germany so that they're paying for the improvements that are needed to support that extra flow? So again, no action needed tonight, but just wanted to give you an update that we've gotten to the point where that information's been passed along. So wanted you to have that information at the same time. Ryan, did I summarize that okay?
Yep. And in the proposal that I had sent to Met Council for the study, there's delays on when they approved it, so they pushed this back a little bit for completing it. But I requested that they provide us comments back within 2 weeks from this last Friday, and I know New Germany's engineer has already indicated the number one comment that they're going to have back is they would request a estimate of the sewer access charge if this would be something that would be pursued.
So I think what we'll do is, we'll obviously we'll keep you updated when we're getting those comments back. Mayor Dodge, I think maybe too that it might be it's been a little while. It probably a good timing for another Public Works Committee meeting, and we can kind of talk about this in a little bit more detail and make sure that you have a chance to kind of chat with Ryan and Kyle, and we'll pass that information along and keep the council up to date.
Yeah, I think that makes sense, Dave, that maybe in the next 2 weeks or so we can meet and go over it again, touch base again on it. Any other questions? Any other council members have questions for either of the two engineers?
So the city of New Germany would be paying for a portion of the upgrade to the new facility, correct? Or they would just be adding on and they would be paying through their water bills? Or would they pay for a portion of the facility?
A combination of both. The intent would be that it would be similar to development in town. And Ryan, you have to step in and talk over me if I'm misstating this, but the intent would be that this wouldn't cost the taxpayers of Mare any money. That it would be that you would essentially be taking on another user that you would be charging for you would charge them to provide the service to them. That would include some capital costs to upgrade the facility, but then obviously some ongoing fees to pay for the service as it's being delivered.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's always been the intent of this. What'll help with Chad, we can add in other people into this. The intent would to try to have more users where it could bring our fees down.
Right.
Try to balance those off some. Try to balance them off some.
Okay.
Any other questions for the engineers? Go ahead, Dave.
I was just going to say before we're done with our update, just let everybody know Maggie got the notices out last week related to the street project. We will have our improvement hearing coming up 2 weeks in 2 weeks, the 25th, I believe it is. And then next week, we're scheduled for an open house style meeting on the 19th, just to continue to keep people up to date, answer questions, give them information about the street project that's coming up.
Perfect, thank you. All right, if there's no other questions, Dave and Ryan, I appreciate the update. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Thank you. Have a good night.
You too, thank you. All right, Maggie, let's go to 6B1, 2021 annual appointments.
Right. So as you know, the first meeting of the year, annually, the city council considers an organizational resolution. That's 1.11.21.1 for this, for tonight. And it is a resolution that designates the the depository, the official newspaper, and also things like the city attorney, engineer, financial consultant, and much more. Mostly our consultants and contractors. This evening, we will also be appointing to several positions, council members to different commissions and committees. So we'll go through that. And then also included on 63 and 64 is a highlight of who serves on each committee and commission, and then also recommendations for fire department. I did explain that process in the memo. If you have any questions, let me know. I will take any questions or comments. Otherwise, after that, we will go through making recommendations as to who will serve in each vacant position.
Okay, so do you want the resolution approved first?
Actually, what we'll do is we will assign the roles first, and then with that, we will approve the resolution.
All right.
So this is the list of positions or appointments that we need to make this evening.
And I appoint the acting mayor, correct? The vice mayor? Is that correct?
I'm not 100% sure if that's if you can recommend, or if you recommend. I'm trying to think how we've done this in the past. Or if it's been
typically, I thought I was, well, I'll be recommending or appointing Councilmember Boder once again for vice mayor.
Okay. And then at this point, any council members can.
Is it easier to go down to the actual table?
Yep.
And we'll just do them. There we go. So typically what we do on these, and it's a little different this year with 2 new council members. So we try to go through, just kind of make an agreement on who would like to do what on what of these boards they want to serve on. We try to get participation from everyone. We try to mix it up we thought 1 year was a little too short of a time to really get in there and really learn a lot about the commission. So we try every 2 years to rotate around. So try not to stay on them for too long so we can get visibility into numerous commissions. So with that, and Maggie, I don't even remember who some of the current or the past ones were. I believe this first one was Liz.
Yep, Liz
Butterfield was the community rec advisor. So
yep.
Is there anyone interested in that? Well, I mean, just speak up if you're interested in it. Otherwise, we'll have to appoint that. We do have a council member out, Maggie, and I don't know if she
she did
sent any
not
requests or thoughts
no,
of what she might want to serve.
She was interested in the planning commission. She had told me to liaise.
Okay.
Yeah, so
how about community rec advisory? Anyone want to serve on the community rec advisory?
Sure, I'll do that. Millender.
And I can get,
Perfect.
I'll connect you with each, this one's an outside organization, so I'll connect you with who you need to be connected with after the meeting, so.
Okay, Maggie, you're gonna keep track of these?
Yep.
Okay,
Okay, so next one is Planning Commission. Sorry, I forgot to highlight it.
I'm interested in the planning commission.
and we typically have one on this one, correct, Maggie? We just have one liaison,
Yeah.
correct?
Just one, yep.
Okay, all right. Anyone else interested in that?
Like, I I would be, but I know Nikki said she was very interested as well.
Yeah,
All
and I
right.
know Nikki's been on the park board for 2 years. So I don't know if you want to rotate her out of that position or not. So,
Yeah, I think we should out of the park board.
right.
Yeah, because I was gonna go for the park board if that's available.
All right. So we have Boder and possibly Boder or McNeely for the planning commission. And we'll come back to it then, Maggie, and we'll see where things, and then we'll come back to that one, I think.
Okay.
And then we had, is that the park board one?
Oh, I'm sorry, this is EDA.
Okay, where is park board?
Oh, I'm sorry.
There we
Gosh,
go.
so sorry.
Park commission.
I'd be
All right.
interested.
All right, we'll put Councilmember Helt down on that. Anyone else for park board? All right. EDA then. And EDA meets quarterly up, currently they only meet quarterly.
I'll do that. Help.
Was it, okay, perfect.
Helt, okay. And do we want to put, I guess we'll have to decide on where Nikki, well, maybe we put Nikki on EDA and Boder on the planning. It's hard to speak for her when she's not here.
Right.
Okay.
I'd rather do
All right,
EDA
let's
than Carver County leader.
say that again.
I'd rather do the EDA than the Carver County leaders.
Carver
If
County,
I had
yeah.
a choice.
Okay. And typically Carver County leaders, it's the mayor and vice mayor on that. It's how it's been. Not that it has to be that way, but that's typically been the way it is. And then with the mayor being
group before. I kind of know how they work, but
all right. All right. So EDA, Maggie, we have Helt and McNeely.
Yes. So, well, yeah, I
Alright.
don't know if we finalized it yet.
Right. Yeah, it's not finalized, but that's what you have penciled in.
I do, yeah.
All right. Carver County leaders, you can put me down.
Okay.
You can put me down as well for that.
Okay. I think that's it. I mean, I think, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Any other discussion?
And park boards
Okay.
first Tuesday of the month.
It's the second Tuesday.
Second
So
Tuesday.
yeah, the first one will be tomorrow. So I think I sent everybody a packet on that.
Yep.
I can, yeah, okay. If you have any questions after the meeting, just let me know too. Okay, yep. Any other discussion on the information that was in the packet and the recommendations?
Why don't you just go over them one more time from top to bottom, Maggie, so everyone understands.
Okay, so for acting mayor and vice mayor, I have Eric Boder, or Councilmember Boder. Community Education, Community Recreation Advisory, I have Councilmember Larry Millender. Planning Commission Liaison, Councilmember Boder. Park Commission, Councilmember Helt. EDA, Councilmember Helt and Councilmember McNeely. And then Carver County leaders, I have Mayor Dodge and Councilmember Boder.
All right, with that, I'll look for a motion to approve resolution 1.11.21.1.
I'll make that motion. Eric Boder.
Health, I'll
We have a
second.
motion and we have a second.
Sorry.
Any
Health,
further discussion? Any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll vote. Boder,
Aye.
Helt,
aye.
Callender,
Aye.
and Dodge is an aye. Motion carries 4-0.
Your Honor.
Thank you.
Your Honor, it's Dave again. If I could just take an opportunity to thank the council for appointing us again as your city engineer on behalf of myself and Bolton Mink. We certainly appreciate the opportunity to keep working with you and look forward to the coming year.
Great. No, thank you. I appreciate that. We look forward also to working with you guys. It's been a great partnership for, I think we're up close to 15 years now, aren't we, Dave, with Bolton and Mink? Pretty close to that.
Yeah, it's
so
hard to believe a young guy like me could be in one place that long.
yeah, go figure. A prodigy. All right. Well, thank you. No, I do appreciate that. Like I said, it has been a great partnership. So thank you.
Thank you.
All right. With that, Maggie, let's move to 6B2, COVID-19 reopening City Hall.
Okay, Mayor and Council, as you know, since spring of last year, we've been working through COVID-19. We've generally been keeping an eye on initially with the peacetime emergency with the state of Minnesota. Ourselves, we have declared an emergency at that time as well. Throughout the last year, we have followed executive orders. One of those orders was to prepare and draft a preparedness plan. That was approved last spring in May, and then we also recently updated it as well at the December 28th meeting. Since we have, over the last year, become more aware of best practices and ways of handling the pandemic. So as you know, on January 6th, the governor, he did announce measures that would loosen restrictions a little bit further, however, suggesting that people still take measures. So with that, in the packet, I did review what we've been doing since November. We have had City Hall closed. It has been appointment-based. We have not been doing any reservations of the community center. We have been doing cleaning. We've been doing more remote work with the fire department as well as City Hall staff. So with that, that was just a short summary. But with that, next steps would be just bringing it up, as the governor is loosening some of the restrictions, and we're making the assumption that things will continue on that path. Just having a discussion on future plans for the city of Mare and possibly reopening City Hall, when that would be, going back to in-person meetings. But with that, the recommendation that I would say is to keep following guidelines at the state level with social distancing, wearing masks, and essentially following our preparedness plan. So I have recommended the following. Again, it's open for discussion. These are just recommendations. So with that, I was thinking of considering reopening City Hall doors at the end of January or until Martin Luther King Jr., which is January 28th. And continue to have admin staff rotate until that time, but then bring staff back in while taking precautions. And then also considering council and commission meetings going back in person, also with social distancing and masks, plastic dividers at tables, and cleaning after we're done, and recommending that in February. And with that, just maintaining the same protocols as we have been doing. So I did include the City of Mayor preparedness plan, just kind of some of the measures that the state took that loosened up on January 10th. And yeah, I'm open for any questions. Again, just trying to come up with a plan. This is always, you never know what's going to happen. It's based on assumption, and probably going to have to keep reassessing as we move forward. So with that, I am open for discussion.
Perfect, thank you. Any comments from any of the council members?
Isn't Martin Luther King Day the 18th?
Oh shoot,
Yeah.
I am so sorry. Yeah, you're right.
It's next Monday.
I'm so sorry. How did I do that? I think I put a 2 instead of a 1.
I think in my opinion, I would like to see City Hall get opened up starting next Tuesday. And then council meetings, commission meetings. I like the idea of starting that in February unless something changes, Maggie, and kind of leave that discretion with you that you could change that last minute if needed. Commissions, I'm not as concerned. Council meetings, we don't want to get too many people in chambers. It's, not the biggest room. And, but I think starting in February, we could probably open it up again. With our social distancing, we have our new tables now with the wheels on. We can spread out a little bit. It's a little easier now. Other thoughts from anyone?
Yeah, I agree with both of those.
Yep, me too.
Sounds like a good plan.
All right. Maggie, do you want a motion for that, or can you just move forward with what you have? Correct.
It won't hurt with just a motion to move forward with. I know you had already
Okay.
kind of summarized it, but a motion would be good.
All right, I'll look for a motion to, excuse me, open City Hall starting Tuesday, January 19th, and then start commission and city council meetings starting in February of 2021 at the administrator's discretion if needed to delay that a little longer for Zoom.
I'll make that motion.
We have a motion, we have a second. We have a motion, a second from Melender. Any further discussion? All right, we'll vote via roll call. Boder.
Aye.
Halt.
Aye.
Melender.
Aye.
Dodge is an aye. Motion carries 4-0. Thank you. That should give you enough direction, Maggie.
Yep, perfect. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you. I appreciate it. Let's move on to 6B3, the smart partnership to Carver County with the smart watering program.
Okay, Mayor and Council, in front of you this evening is some information from Carver County Water Management Organization. Last year, there were some residents that contacted the city asking about if we did offer a smart watering program or an irrigation program that essentially provided these smart controllers at a reduced rate. It kind of incentivizes, it's a controller that kind of monitors water usage, especially when there's different weather patterns coming through the city. But it is offered in a few cities in Carver County. Carver County Water Management Organization teamed up with the city of Chaska over the last couple years to roll out this program, just to test it out to see if it actually would work to incentivize or attract people to purchase these controllers, and if it would change their water usage patterns. So with that, Carver County Water Management is actually reaching out to expand this year and to other cities in Carver County. And the city of Mare had expressed some interest last year, just information-wise, just to get more information. This year, they're actually starting the program, and they want to know if the city of Mare would be interested in participating. So I did include kind of the information of the program in the packet. So Carver County is teaming up with a company named Ratio to offer the smart irrigation controllers to residents at a discounted price. And so interested cities would partner with Carver County to have the program available to their residents. So with that, the organizations would work together. We would sign an agreement with Carver County committing to, some funding and to promote it through our website and social media. And then a website would be created specifically for the program and hosted by Ratio. So then residents can connect in and actually gather the information that they, just to see how it's working for them. So with that, I'm just trying to kind of have a conversation with the city as to if we're interested in this. I know, I think we have a resident on this evening who has contacted me on several occasions, has some knowledge of other cities doing this, and has been asking the city to look into a program such as this. So next steps would be to determine if we're interested in what kind of financial, what kind of support we would put into the program if we do move forward with the partnership. So with that, I did include an example. I did include information on the cost or the price range of these controllers. So an 8-zone controller option, its market value is $229, but just being part of the program would go down to $169. And then the 16-zone controller option is $279, and just being part of the program would bring it down to $189. But then the city could further fund or subsidize or offer a discount on the controller if we want to put some money towards it, just to see if this would be something that would take off in our city. So we could offer, we could fund at $1,000, offer a $20 discount on controllers to be able to fund 50 controllers, or the city could, another option would be $2,500, offer a $50 discount on the controller and do 50 controllers as well. This would be kind of an experiment year, kind of market it, put it out there, see if people are interested. There would be a one-time fee that Carver County is expecting the city would have to do a cost share of between $200 and $500. But that would just kind of to get the program set up with Ratio. I did include their website for more information, but at this time I'm looking for discussion and determination as to whether we want to move forward with this partnership. And then I know one thing that Carver County is also looking for is an idea of what we would think we would want to put into it if we, money-wise, for discounts. So
I assume this pilot program in Chaska was successful. Do we have numbers or data? Did they provide any of that data?
Yeah, I can get that to you. I did get that information today from Madeline from Carver County. Their pilot program that they did with Chaska was they felt was successful, and so that's why they're creating this model where they can expand it to other cities in Carver County.
And then would Carver County be doing the marketing on this to the residents of Mayor, or would we do that?
Carver County would do part of it, but we would also do some marketing materials on our website and on social media.
Okay, and do we have to, so say we join this, put on our little entry fee of whatever, $300 to $500. We don't have to, there's no obligation to put any extra money in there, is there?
There's
I mean, we
not.
could choose not to.
We could just sign up for the program, and residents would be able to get the controllers at the discounted price. So
Okay.
instead of the market value.
Do we know how many residents have irrigation systems? Based off second meters on irrigation usage?
I could look that data up. I know every new house in town requires a second meter. We do not permit when watering or the irrigation systems go in. So we do not have solid data on that, but
is there a way to query the system just to show who's been using water in their irrigation system? You know, something more than 1,000 gallons a month, or some, 2,000, some number and that would kind of show how many people are irrigating.
Yeah, I think we could pull some data off of our software that would show how many people have second meters. I mean, I think one issue is that every house does have outdoor watering. It's just not every house has 2 meters. So we would have to pull data from the properties that have 2 meters to actually know how much is being used outdoors versus we aren't able to distinguish houses that only have 1 meter. We aren't able to determine how much water is being used outside.
No, and I understand that, but that'll give us a close enough. What I'm looking for is, how much of this if we went forward, how much do we want money do we want to subsidize for how many homes? If it's 50 homes, but 250 have irrigation systems, is that enough? I'm trying to get an idea from that.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Maggie, don't you have to have a permit to put the backflow valve on the house?
Oh, for irrigation systems?
Yeah, is that the plumber does that?
I don't know if Janelle would know offhand. I just know we don't require. A lot of these irrigation systems go in when houses are built. And so I would have to do a little bit more research.
Fine. It'd be interesting to know if we could, how many new sprinkler systems were put in last year. But because I can't imagine that nowadays when you get your sprinkler system put in, it's not coming with a smart meter on it.
Right.
Do we know the sampling size that they took in Chaska, or how many residents actually signed up?
How many signed up? I do not know. I know Marilyn sent me an overview today. I don't think it included that data, but I can see if she can get that to me and I can email it to you.
I'm just curious, if it's 100 houses or 1,000 houses.
Right.
Yeah, I can see if I can get more information on the study that they did and yeah, see if we can. Yeah.
Any other questions?
Yeah, and I think yeah, I can give you the study information. I think it's kind of one of those things with anything like this. The first year is always kind of a learning experience. And I think she said too that if it ended up being a popular program, the city could always offer additional funding if we want to do funding to subsidize or to offer a discount on the controller. You can always add funds, I think, at a later date as well.
I think
I would like
overall
to
it's a
see
good
that.
idea.
Estimate.
I think I'm in favor with a little more information, and maybe we get more information, Maggie, and we take this to the next work session
Okay.
Yeah.
and discuss it more and try to figure out. I don't know where we're sitting from a budget standpoint. You know, obviously hindsight's 2020, but it would have been nice if Carver County would have contacted us back when we were doing budgets versus now. But I'm in favor of it. I want to know a little bit more about how it works, what these systems are. You know, is there data that's getting collected somewhere that shouldn't be? You know, on usages or things like that, or I don't even know if it should or shouldn't be, but kind of what all gets, is this company collecting data based off these, or is it just strictly for, you know, each homeowner's use? Is it connected to their website?
Yeah. Yep. No, that's a lot of good information I can get more clarification on.
Yeah, I would like to continue to move forward and continue to get more information unless others object to it. And then we'll bring it to a work session and discuss it more. Any other questions? Any other questions right now, or any other information you'd like to see Maggie get? And if you think of some later, email her.
Okay.
All right. Is that good for now, Maggie? Does that get you what you need for now?
Yep, that's perfect. Thank you.
I think we can relay to Carver County that we have interest. We just need to figure out some of the logistics and some of the details to it. All right. Anything further on that? Any other questions? All right, with that, Maggie, let's move to 61 in-floor heating requests for the new mayor fire station.
Okay, I apologize. My furnace is super loud. So Mayor and Council, in the packet, I did include a timeline at the end of last year on decisions that were made by the City Council on the fire station project. So as part of that, the City Council did approve the construction base bid amount with alternates, some of the alternates to move forward with financing. On page 87, I laid out what the council approved and what the council did not approve. Since that meeting, the Mayor Fire Association met on Monday, January 5th, and agreed to recommend to City Council to fund the in-floor heating alternate of the proposed fire station. So that total is $67,638. So the City Council, as you know, the City Council did reject this. So the fire relief is coming back, saying they want to pay for it. The Fire Relief Association felt that heating was needed as part of the project and would be beneficial in the long term. So the next steps that I'm asking you tonight is the City that the City Council determine whether to move forward with accepting the donation from the Mayor Fire Relief Association in the amount of $67,638 to cover the cost of the in-floor heating alternate. If approved, the City Council would request the donation by the Fire Relief Association and formally accept, which we always do, the donation by resolution at the next meeting. So the contractor has been informed that they would of the interest of the Fire Relief Association to pay for this. And so they did say that they would honor the price.
Maggie, you're cutting out. You're cutting out.
Oh, I am sorry.
Yeah, your
What
microphone's
part?
not working.
Oh, okay. Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay. So I don't know how much you missed. It's essentially Fire Relief Association is offering to pay for the in-floor heating. So next steps would be just to discuss if we want to move forward with with that. So I'm open
Okay.
for discussion
Any
at this time.
Any questions on this?
The contractor's okay
Hearing
with it?
none.
Oops, sorry.
No, go ahead.
The contractor's been informed and he's okay with going ahead with it then if the Relief Association pays for it?
Yeah, so the contractor's been informed, and essentially it would, they did say that they would honor the bid price. So it would be, if we do determine to move forward with this, it would be written in the contract that this would be included in the project. And they
Okay.
were okay with that.
Okay.
Maggie, you want to scroll your screen down to this
Oh, yeah,
item?
I'm sorry. Yep.
Maggie, can you explain what Relief Association funds would normally be going for?
I can, yes, I did do some research. So normally, I have to admit, I'm not an expert on this topic. I know that relief funds are essentially donations from fundraisers. I know our fire department does a calendar each year, which is the fire department. My understanding is that these donations are, they're essentially, the fire relief is a nonprofit, and it is for historically, I believe, for pension, retirement, and I could be wrong. Andy, anybody can jump in. I was just doing research today for kind of a benefit.
Maggie, your microphone's cutting out. Do you have another, do you have any earbuds or anything you can connect with? Or is that your only mean of speaking?
Hold on.
If you don't have earbuds or anything, then that's fine. I guess we'll just, it just
All right.
keeps cutting out.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we can now.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, so I know Andy's on the phone too. He can, I'm again not an expert on this, but I just know the Relief Association is like for benefits, fire, like retirement and pension benefits. But I did do a little research on the topic too, and it is, these funds are able to, if determined by the Relief Association, can go towards equipment or other projects that benefit the fire department. So
Okay, does that answer your question, Eric?
Well, is there anybody from the Relief Association that wants to explain what some of the purchases they've purchased in the past with that money?
Yeah, I can speak to that. Good evening, council members. I just welcome Council Member Melander and Council Member Helt to the council. The Relief Association money, comes from fundraising, donations, and investments. Is the way we've kind of raised that money. That money is used for a number of things. We buy equipment with it. We buy some equipment with it. We buy uniforms with it. We did help the last engine that we purchased. We did put some money towards that engine. Some money gets put then into our pension fund, stuff like that.
All right, any other questions? If not, I'll look for a motion to direct the city administrator to work with the Mayor Fire Relief Association for a donation of $67,638 for in-floor heating for the new fire station.
I'll make that motion. Millender?
Health, I'll second
We
it.
have a motion. We have a motion and second. Any further discussion?
So a lot of this is donated funds from residents or, maybe even people beyond. And being somebody that's donated to the Fire Relief Association, I mean, it just doesn't feel like money that should be spent on infrastructure. The reason that I know personally I voted against this, and I think the mayor as well, was that there's just no return of investment on this. We're providing the fire station with the heat equipment that they need. As somebody that's donated to that, and I've talked to a couple of neighbors of mine, and they've said that they donated during the calendar drive. And I asked what they thought about donating that for heaters, and they had kind of told me that they thought it was going to be for other things like equipment. I just don't think this is a good use of this money. I don't think people that donated to that fund realize that they're going to be paying for heaters.
Further discussion? Eric, I kind of struggled with some of the same items. One of my main concerns was if in-floor heating, if I knew it was going to be there, I might have thought different on some of the other alternates that I voted on last meeting, but I did take a look at those. Even had I voted no on those, they would have passed anyways. So I struggled with this one also. Some of those same concerns. I had a great conversation with Chief One this afternoon, and to be perfectly honest, it swayed me to the other way. As far as what that Relief Association does with the money that they've spent their hard-earned time, their time to have fish fries and away from their families to raise money, and how they choose to spend it, I think is really their prerogative to spend it how they want, is kind of my thoughts on it now.
So we're going to have in-floor heating, but we're not going to have a generator.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's the way it is now. We had the discussion with the generator. This donation is for the in-floor heating. They voted unanimously. 25 people felt that this is the right way to spend the money that they have. I did talk to the chief. To your point, there could be some public perception of, like you've said now, and other people may not want to donate for these reasons, and that's their prerogative on what organization they donate to. They've accounted for that. They took that into consideration. They think it's needed. I did talk, when I was talking with the chief, even one of the items that, we discussed, they do some training in there. They're sometimes on the ground doing training. It'd be nice to have it a little warm. So for me, I was opposed to this, but the conversations we had, I feel if that's how they want to donate their money, they're more than free to do it however they see fit. Any other comments, questions?
I agree that it's definitely a safety. I think it has a lot to do with safety too, drying out the floors quicker. And like you said, hosting trainings in there. I agree with you wholeheartedly with those. And it is their money. It is donated by the community. And if this is how they see to spend it, I'm in agreement with that.
If they've made up funds for fire trucks and other equipment, how is that going to affect some of those further purchases?
I mean, I still believe we still are paying a portion every year towards like I said, that engine that we had purchased. I don't recall the amount or whatever, but we pay a certain amount each year for that until we got that truck paid for. Yes, we do feel that we've got funding. We raise money every year for different stuff. This is something that every member of the department that works at these fish dries, that dedicates their time towards this to raise this kind of funding. They felt that this was a very good use of that money for a long-term thing that is going to benefit both the city and the department. It benefits the city. It does save them money in heating costs. I feel it's going to be better for the equipment, preserving that equipment, in the long run. There is, the safety thing. There's a number of things and reasons why I felt from the beginning that this in-floor heat was needed in this station. The Relief Association feels they want to then purchase this. And I think it would be pretty odd that the city would not approve accepting a donation for something like this. I don't understand why you wouldn't want to do that.
Mike, were you talking?
Yeah, I was. Sorry, I was on mute. And I agree with what Andy's saying, as this being separate from the city. If it was a donation from the Mayor Baseball Club or the Mayor Area Lions, we don't question where they choose to spend their money either. All right, any other discussion?
I'll make the motion to approve or accept the donation of $67,638 for the in-floor heat.
I think we already had, Janelle, am I correct? We already had a motion and a second?
Yeah.
Okay, no further questions.
Maybe.
Mayor Dodge, yes, that's correct. We do have a motion for, to approve it and a second as well.
Perfect, thank you. Okay, any other discussion?
Nope.
All right, we'll vote by roll call. Boder.
Aye.
Helt.
Aye.
Melander.
Aye.
Dodge is an aye. Motion carries 4-0. So Maggie, go ahead and work with them. I appreciate, and this will come to the next council meeting then, correct, Maggie? With the finalized accepting the donation?
Yep. Yes, it will.
Okay. All right. I'll save my comments for then. So thank you. Thank you, Chief One. And we'll look for this on the next council meeting.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right. City council reports. Board, anything to report on?
I have nothing.
All right. Health, anything you want to add? Report on any questions you have? We do this go through this every meeting, so you kind of take this time to report on some of the commissions that you're on and update the council, which obviously you haven't been any yet. So if there's any other comments, I'll give you a minute if you want it.
No, I'm
All right.
good. Thank you.
Melander, any comments?
No, I look forward to working with everybody on the council and the staff. It'll be a good, fun year.
Perfect. Yep, we look forward to the same. I appreciate that. And I have no updates. I haven't been to any meetings since our last city council meeting. So for that, I'll look for a motion to adjourn.
So moved. Melander.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Health, second.
We have a motion, a second. Boder.
Aye.
Help.
Aye.
Melander.
Aye.
And Dodge is an aye. We are adjourned 4-0. Thank you very much, everyone. Welcome the new council members. Have a great night, and we'll talk in a few weeks.
Thank you, Mayor Dodge.